Happy Homebrew Wednesday, folks. Ryan Patrick Murphy here, drinking a little homebrew. My dry Irish stout. And yes, I'm sitting in the same spot I was in my last video because I recorded that like 5 minutes ago. But at the time of you watching this, I would have gotten married probably by now. Hopefully. She said yes. No, I'm sure. I don't have anything to talk about since I haven't brewed, but I thought maybe this will not be a very homebrew centric episode. So if that's why you're here, which I wouldn't blame you for that, you came to a homebrew Wednesday expecting to talk about homebrew, and I'm not going to. But this seems like this could be something that affects a lot of home brewers, maybe, or just people that like to drink a lot of beer. Not that it's necessarily beer's fault. If you're overweight like me, you may be affected by this, not even know, or maybe you do know and you're just not doing anything about it. But I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about obstructive sleep apnea. Let me just pull something up here, just to make sure I give you a good explanation of what that is. Essentially, what sleep apnea is, and actually I guess sleep apnea covers a wide range of different problems, but obstructive sleep apnea is the most common type of sleep apnea and is caused by complete or partial obstructions of the upper airway. So what does that mean? Essentially what happens, you might be sleeping and you'll just stop breathing in the middle of the night because your airway just plugs up. Are you going to die right there? Probably not. Hopefully not. Probably not. Maybe not. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you, legally binding medical advice. I'm just going to tell you about my experience here. So, I've been a snorer for a few years now. I'm sure it's been at least 10 years. I'm overweight. I'm very much minor case of sleep apnea, but probably the best example of this is I was at my in-laws' house and fell asleep on the couch, and people were in the room, they're watching sports or something, and I don't care about that sort of thing, but so I was tired, I was taking a nap. I woke up, nobody was in that room, and it was like an hour and a half later I woke up. And my wife came and talked to me. She's like, you stopped breathing like several times. You were snoring real loud, we had to leave, and you stopped breathing, and it's like, holy cow. Which I knew exactly what it was when she said that. So, there's been several times since then where I'd fall asleep on the couch. Same thing, snore, stop breathing a few times. Now, she wouldn't do anything, but actually she did wake me up once. Like, are you dying? Are you still alive? So I guess it's pretty freaky when you're the person watching and somebody just stops breathing. So I went to the doctor. I had a cold too. Later, when I went to the doctor, I was like, I'll kill two birds with one stone, I was like, I think I need to have a sleep study. And I knew about this because of my other people I know that have the same problem, and they get sleep study. They had to do a sleep study to figure out that they had sleep apnea. So, did the sleep study, and pretty much it's kind of neat how it works. Little annoying, but not really a big deal. You can do it at home now. And that's when I did mine at home. And you get this little box that you strap around your chest. Has a band on it that goes around your chest, a little box, and you hook up those oxygen things that goes around your ears, and little prongs go up your nose in the hospital. You have one of those that hook up, and you get an oxygen sensor on your finger, and you gotta tape that on, and you just go to sleep. You go to bed. And then the next day, you take the machinery, take everything back. Well, you throw the little oxygen thingy away, but you take everything back and they download the data. That thing measured you. It knew when you stopped breathing, because not only is oxygen, the thing in your nose, not taking air, but your chest isn't moving, you know, and really bad case of sleep apnea, your O2 level in your blood will go down. That's how serious this is. So, a lot of bad things can happen from sleep apnea. Like, I think it increases your chances of stroke or things like that. I'm just trying to see if there's something. Anyway, a lot of, you know, it increases. You know, and I did some research. It could cause increase your chances of enlarged prostate, stroke, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, you know, it's good. You should get a sleep study done. Treatment is like pretty much an ongoing thing for the rest of your life, unless, you know, if it's weight related and you can lose the weight, you might be able to come back out of it, which that's great if you can do it. But the therapy for it is not a big deal. It may be kind of annoying at first, but even when I started, I had the right mask. I lucked out, and I had the right mask and everything, so it didn't really bother me. I slept pretty great, actually. You know, if you wake up tired, you know, you slept for 8 to 10 hours, you wake up super tired in the morning, you know, maybe somebody told you snore a lot or whatever, you probably have sleep apnea, and you should go get tested. And maybe you don't. You know, and snoring doesn't necessarily mean that you have sleep apnea. It's the lack of breathing that's a good indicator that you have sleep apnea. So what do they do? Let's say you go to sleep study, and they say, yep, you have sleep apnea. You're going to have to get, chances are you'll have to get what they call a CPAP. That's a continuous positive airway pressure. They'll give you a CPAP machine. There's different ones. There's CPAP, just regular CPAP, and they set a setting, and that's the pressure that machine gives you out, and you can increase that over time, I think. There's auto CPAPs that will actually adjust for you. They set a range, and it adjusts pressure. So I'm gonna just move the camera down a little bit, just to give you a better idea of what we're dealing with. Like I said, I do apologize if you don't want to hear about this, because you wouldn't hear homebrew stuff. Well, sorry, you can shut off, it's alright. So this is my CPAP machine. This is the ResMed AirSense 10 AutoSet. I've had it since the end of March. It's a pretty nice little compact machine. It's easy to, you know, it's pretty lightweight. You know, probably tosses around. You don't want to toss it around, but you could. It comes with a little humidifier chamber, what they call a humidifier chamber. So what you do is you put a little water in here. There's a fill gauge, opens like this. And there's a lot of different machines out there, so you may not end up with one, but I'm just trying to give you the idea of what you would be going through if you decided to go with CPAP therapy, which I would suggest if you have sleep apnea to do that, you know, and you could exercise too and bring your weight down and get to where you don't have to use one of these. But my point is, it's not a big deal. So you have some water in here. The point of this is, so what's going to be happening is you're going to be wearing a mask on your face while you sleep. There's different kinds of masks. I'll get into that though, but pretty much it's forcing air through your airways to keep them open. It's a little weird sensation at first, but it's not terrible. You know, and maybe it wasn't terrible for me, we'll say that. And I'm set to a fairly low pressure, and there's different ranges of pressure based on what you need, and you know. So anyway, the reason for the humidifier chamber is to humidify your air so you don't get a dried up nose, and you know, so that you don't get bloody noses and all that. So you put water in this guy, and you just snap them in. It's good to go. There's the and like I said, there's the regular CPAP and there's an auto CPAP, and sometimes I've seen them referred to as APAPs, and there's a BPAP out there too, and I don't exactly know what that is, but it doesn't apply to me, so I'm not really going to talk about it because I don't really know much about it. But this is an auto CPAP. The pressure is measured in centimeters of water, I believe, which I don't exactly know what that means. I'm sure somebody out there will probably comment and explain it, and I could probably go look it up. But when I went and got this, the person who was giving me this said that my studies show that I needed about at least four centimeters of water of pressure. I'm not going to say the centimeters of water the whole time. I'm just going to say the numbers of pressure. So if that's what I mean when I say that. So she set my machine to 5 to 15. So this machine will detect and adjust between 5 and 15 pressure, and so that it knows that it can keep my air breathing. So it is paying attention to how I'm exhaling or not exhaling. So you got this machine. You're like, okay, well, how's the rest of this come into play? So there's a hose. You get a fairly long hose. All right. Some of them are heated hoses, and some of them are not. And just depending on what you get, you may not get a heated hose. I recommend a heated hose if you get a CPAP machine that supports it. This one is a heated hose. What that helps prevent is, warm air is going to be going through here. If you keep your bedroom cool, it could have a lot of condensation or what they call rain out. This prevents that. I've seen people also, there's like sleeves that you can put your hoses in, and the non-heated hoses are a lot cheaper, and there's like special cloth sleeves that you can put over to prevent the same issue, and it's a lot cheaper. I don't care about any of that. This works. This is what they gave me. I didn't really have a choice, but I like it. And it just snaps in to the machine. So I'd recommend that if, they're about $40 per the hose. And you have to replace the hose like every 6 months or something. But, it's also depending on your finances, whatever. So now you got the end of your hose. You're going to have a mask that you're going to wear. So this is my mask. This is, not a lot of people have this. I don't know how many people have this mask, but a lot of the people I know don't have a mask like this. So there's nasal masks where it just covers your nose and it just pushes the air. When I would sleep, I would wake up with my mouth open, pretty much in a pool of drool. It was disgusting. It was gross. And when they first got me, and they were going to get me on a nasal mask, and I was like, yeah, but I think my mouth opens up when I sleep and all that. And she's like, well, it's probably because you're not getting enough air, so your body's opening your mouth so you can bring in more air because you're not breathing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. All right. So I still have it. This is still a nasal mask. This is kind of a hybrid. There's the nasal masks that go over your nose, and this one does cover my nostrils, but it's pretty comfortable. A lot of them, there's what they call nasal pillows, and it has these two little prongs that go up your nose a little bit. It's not like going into your brain or anything. It's just enough to plug up your nostrils. And then there's the full face masks. There's ones where it goes over your nose and mouth, like this. And I think there's even full facial ones that even go completely over your face. I've seen some of those. And most of the ones I've seen, the hose will hook up in the front somewhere. This one is different, and I really like this mask. And this is the only one I've ever tried. I'm going to be ordering another one I saw online just so I can try a different one just to see how it works, if it works better. And this one comes out the top of the top of your head. So you put this on, and it covers my nose. And I know I'm sounding kind of funny, and the hose will hook up here. See, and I'm hooked in. Now, really, you got to keep your hose kind of behind you with this mask. And this is kind of nice because you're not sitting there hugging the hose all night. Now, you're tied to the machine, and it's going to kick on. and it's pushing air through right now. So I'm kind of plugging my nose on purpose right now. Otherwise, air is just going to push out of my mouth if I don't. See? I don't know if you can hear that or not. Ugh. And it pushes some stuff through. Sorry. So if there's water in here, there's a little plate under here that's going to be heating it up. You can, on this model, you can adjust the humidity, so it will put more humidity into the air. I do about a 3. If I go to 4, I do get water built up in the hose sometimes. Depending if I feel kind of sick, like maybe allergy or something, I will increase humidity to 4, just to kind of help keep that stuff cleared out a little bit. And it works really well. It's kind of nice for that. There is a cell phone transceiver in this device, so they can get information. My doctor can get information on me if they need it or whatever. Anyway, so that's pretty much how it works. This is called if you have to go where you're trying to figure out a mask and you'd like to try this one, or you're already a CPAP user and you hate your mask, this is the DreamWear. I like it. I do have an issue that I haven't quite figured out yet. Sometimes my nose gets kind of plugged by it, and I think it's something with the flaps here. And I'm not really sure what that is yet. I haven't quite figured it out. And maybe it's just, I don't know, I'm being weird or something, and it's not really a problem, but for some reason in my head there's a problem. You know. So, one issue I did have with this, having this in the back of my head made it a lot easier to roll around, but my hose would get stuck underneath my pillow. It'd fall right behind the pillow to the mattress on the wall. And then during the night, because I do still move around a lot at night, roll over just to be comfortable. The hose will get stuck under my pillow, and then I can't move again. I gotta adjust it. This device, I recommend you get one of these. It's a CPAP hose stand. Yes. So this one is on Amazon for like $18. Just go search CPAP hose stand. Essentially, so it folds up real nice, as you can see here. This part here goes between your mattress and your box spring, so it just slides in there, and that holds it in place. It holds it. It's nice, big, and wide, so it holds it. It's really solid. It goes together like a tent rod, with a piece of elastic in the middle. And so this will sit over you, and you can put it at the side of your bed, at the head of your bed. I put the head kind of in the corner, but still works between the wall and the mattress. And I used this once so far. It works great. Your hose goes through here, and you got to attach your mask back on the other side once you put the hose through. And it'll turn a little bit if I need to. I was able to sit up in bed without any issues. I didn't even know my hose was attached to this thing all night. I didn't catch on anything. It was pretty great. So really, if that's a problem you're worried about, or you have that problem, and if you decide to go through all this, and you need to do this, get one of these. It's great. It's worth the $18, and it's a stylish blue, a nice blue color, and and you can travel with it. That's probably the real nice part. So I hope this video is helpful for somebody. If not, I'm sorry to waste your time, but sleep apnea is kind of a big deal. It really, it can take years off your life, really. So you should do something, live longer. It's really not a big deal. I don't have any problems breathing at night with it. I actually probably sleep a little better than I used to. So if you need it, get it. Take care of it. So that's all I got for you this week, folks. Cheers, 17. I'm out.